and you may have said this when I stepped out, is there a difference between a butch woman who has a male gender presentation or has a non-feminine gender presentation and someone who feels more comfortable as an actual man? You know, because on one level you can say, okay, well, aggressive women or aggressive women, this is just another way of being a woman, non-feminine woman. But that's different, or is that different from actually wanting to be a man?
For me personally, no. I don't think that there's much of a difference. I think this is just my own personal opinion.
I'm sorry.
Actually, she can take the front seat. Would you like to take the front seat?
Actually, for me personally, no. I don't think that there is much of a difference. I think some butches tend to continue to use the word butch or lesbian so they can feel more in tune or feel more involved in that kind of community, and so that women don't look at them a certain way. But I know butch guys, I mean, seriously, nothing at all about them is feminine. They walk on the opposites, you know, outside of the street in the open corridors. I mean, if you, well, you know, it's one thing to be aggressive and to be, you know, dominant as far as in bed, maybe your personality a little bit, but when you talk about things like that, I mean, these are everyday things. You know, you're wearing boxers, you're, you know, just super masculine and butch like all the time, you're covered up, like, you want people to see you this way, but then at the same token, you feel like you have to go out of your way to say, oh no, I'm a woman. I don't know. For me, I think it's the same. I think it's the same. The gender representation is, there really isn't like any difference. I know butch guys are probably way more masculine than I am. I don't think that there's much of a difference.
But there's a difference, because there's some butch women who clearly look like women. They just don't look feminine, as opposed to women who look like men.
But I don't think looking like a man doesn't necessarily represent your gender. Your gender is not just based on what you look like, but it's also based on how you carry yourself, your characteristics, your personality, your interactions with people. You could look like the brat, but if you're like, yo, what up, and you're walking on like the outside of the street all the time with your girlfriend, and your clothes are super baggy like all the time, you're covered up, you know. I mean, to me, I would think that there's probably some gender identity issues, and maybe people just don't want to, you know, admit to that, or maybe they don't notice, or they're not aware, or maybe because it's so the norm that they haven't really even thought about it. You know, living here in New York, I never thought about that. It never even crossed my mind. I guess because I see it so much. I moved to Atlanta, and there's butch women there, but it's a little bit different than it is here, for the most part. At least with, you know, compared to the butches that I know here. The butches that I know here, they bind and things like that, and this is the basis. The butches out there, they're just willy-nilly. But for me, it was like, well, that's not, you know, how I want to be seen. Like, that's not my comfortability. And I would have conversations with these people about how they feel about themselves, or how they actually see themselves. They see themselves as women. They want to bear children, and they're, you know, and they want to do it the natural way, or they're okay with their lovers, you know, being a little aggressive at times and things like that. I'm like, well, that's my cutoff. That's not my comfortability. So, I don't know. I guess it depends on the butch too. For the most part, no, I don't really think that there's much of a difference when you talk about gender representation and how people are, how that illusion, how they want it to be seen, how they want their image to be seen. I don't think that there's much of a difference. I mean, looking like a girl doesn't necessarily make you, you know, a girl. You know what I mean? It's a tough one.
What are the basic differences, even in the way you treat, like a butch woman or a feminine woman? You talk about like walking on the outside, but I know women who look very feminine and activate that way. I mean, what's the basic difference? You know, what's the difference between a person who activates as a man but looks like a woman, or
As far as how I personally treat them, or
Yes, how you personally interact with them. Like,
oh no, I see them as men. If your aura is that, if it's very masculine, I'm not gonna treat you like you're some girl. I'm not gonna open up a door for you. I'm not gonna walk on the outside of the street. I'm not gonna, if we're all going to the club or something like that, I'm not gonna buy you a drink. No, that's just not gonna happen, because if you're masculine, seriously though, like if you're masculine and you're giving off this aura, this representation, well then that's just how I'm gonna treat you. But if you're a feminine woman and you exude that in every sense of the word, well then clearly that's how I'm gonna treat you. I would assume that that's how that person would want to be treated. But then again, that's also an assumption as well. So I don't really know.
Well, are there ever cases where you can't really figure it out? Because I mean, I know personally that people sometimes can't figure me out.
I was just gonna say that if I saw you somewhere or just out and about, you're a very attractive girl.
That makes me feminine though?
No, you're attractive. I just think you're a cute girl. But no, like if I saw you in that kind of social setting or something like that, I would question myself as to whether or not I should approach you or how I should approach you. Because obviously I can't really tell. I mean, your look is not androgynous or anything like that. You don't look like both a guy and a girl, but you look like a pretty girl. But at the same time, because of the way you're dressed, I'm not really sure. I'd have to figure you out first. But I wouldn't just go off treating you like, oh, because she's in boys' clothes, well, I'm gonna just go ahead and treat her like she's some dude. No. I'd ask at least first.
What would you ask?
How do you want me to treat you? How do you want me to see you? What is your gender representation or your identity? I'd ask you that. I would definitely ask you that before I just go off treating you like you're some girl or dude. You know what I mean? Like that's not cool.
What if she couldn't tell you?
What did you say?
I said, what if she couldn't tell you?
Then I just wouldn't even bother to interact or socialize. I'd step away because I wouldn't know how to approach it.
Because you need to know queer.
But doesn't that go against being? You have to help me with this queer concept. Doesn't that go against what being queer is about? Does queer mean that you have to clearly distinguish?
Well, see, my gender representation, based on how I look, if she saw me in a club or somebody else in here saw me in a club, they would think I was a dude trying to approach them. So even though I'm queer and I'm comfortable with whatever, I can't necessarily assume that somebody else is. I'd have to know. It would have to be very clear. If it's not, if there's some kind of gray area, I will back up.
I can't wait, and I do apologize. So you don't identify as a dude?
I identify as transgender, yes, but as far as sexuality and things go, no, I'm queer. I prefer to identify as queer.
And that means what?
That I'm open to people. You could be male, female, M to F, F to M, butch, femme, whatever. I'm open to people. I prefer to date women, of course. I'm attracted to women, yes, but I won't rule out that opportunity. If a chance ever came, I wouldn't necessarily say no or have that cut off. So you only live once. You only live once.
I heard that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
you say you're attracted to women. Are you attracted to particular kinds of women?
Feminine, very.
Bio women, not M to F.
Well, yeah, because when I say women, that just specifies gender. But I guess I should say females who identify as being women. Then I should go ahead and say that, because clearly, if I say women, that could mean someone who's bio female, or that could also mean an M to F, because the illusion of what M to F is giving off is a woman. So yes, I should probably be specific. No, I'm attracted to females who identify as being women, who are feminine, pretty, attractive women. I don't know, J-Lo or something. I don't know. It's just something general or basic. But it doesn't matter. I mean, I guess now being in a position and being trans and having people see me a certain way and feeling like I'm always being isolated, now my mind has turned to, I guess it's just opened up a little bit more. So I'm not necessarily okay with like guys or F to M's or M to F or whatever. Like whatever you are doesn't matter. As long as you're a person and you've got something real inside, then that's really all that matters anyway. But as far as if I saw someone like on the street, like if the type of person I would just try to talk to or something like that, no, it most likely would probably be a female who identifies as being a woman.
I guess something that's making me just, and I have had a lot of discussions. I have trans friends and community, and I want to engage in these issues more because I feel like the strict gender binaries, like as a woman, I feel like I feel like it's revolutionary. It's to be able to embrace whatever I want to. If I want to be, or if I carry myself as masculine as I want, and still claim that term woman, because for so long, I think that's the problem, is that our society says as a woman you have to have, you know, lipstick and long hair and act certain ways and be like this. Why can't I challenge that and be as masculine as I want to be and still say, but I'm a woman, so that I'm challenging what has been put on me, instead of saying, oh, because you act a certain way, or because you embrace what is traditionally masculine, you have to then be a man. Because I love the possibilities of what a woman could be. There's so many, and not that I'm trying to put that on somebody, I mean, it's your individual choice, but that idea that to be a butch woman means you're really just a guy. Like, that's limiting. That doesn't seem
It is, but
open.
I don't know. Again, it's all about personal opinion. For me, like I said, when I ask myself that question of how I want to grow up and how do I see myself, woman was not in the picture. That was definitely not in the picture.
What is that?